The following program contains mature content, coarse language, and is intended for an older youth audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello there, sir or madam. Thank you for clicking on my review of this film. The Place Beyond the Pines stars Ryan Gosling, Bradley Cooper, and Dane Dehaan, and is directed by Derek Cianfrance. A brief synopsis of this crime drama thriller is that in the town of Schenectady, out in the sticks, the lives of two troubled 20-something-year-old men clash, eventually leading to throwing the lives of their two 17-year-old offspring into lawlessness and disarray. The film is about 140 minutes long and is divided into 3 acts. Did I find the film enjoyable? Well, I'll go into it. Let's cover the story first. The Place Beyond the Pines is an exceptionally smart, layered, and riveting experience. It's very progressive with many twists and turns. It opens up with a strapping but troubled man named Luke attempting to reconcile with his ex-girlfriend, whom happens to be the father of his son. He does this by slumming it with a random local and soon robbing banks with him. And judging by Luke's liberal use of shrill obscenities and high-pitched bellowing, you can tell that Luke was hardly a professional in this field. But don't get me wrong, this is still pretty chilling and thrilling to me, and to top it off, it's pretty damn realistic. And you don't really with the Luke Glanton man. Anyway, the first act is excellent, one thing leads to another, and before you know it, the film is bled into the second act, with Avery played by Bradley Cooper taking over. Avery is a police officer of Schenectady who appears to be a good man, but you soon learn that he's a dirty cop who's very unsure of his morality. You watch Avery as he attempts to better the lives he has affected and bring about the changes he sees necessary for both his town and his livelihood. This is a solid act, but sadly it's rather weak and somewhat lacking compared to both the previous act and the final act. The final act is centered on the lives of two disaffected 17-year-old dudes, whom are the young sons of Luke and Avery. These two directionless young men's names are Jason and AJ, played by Dane Dehaan and Emery Cohen respectively. The viewer watches as these two guys drink, do drugs, party, and come to shocking revelations, leading to further shocking ramifications. This final act is executed amazingly, with all sorts of flooring and sometimes comical dialogue, unexpected and twisted situations and occurrences, and just a pretty freaking profound 45-minute conclusion to any piece of cinema. Trust me, you really need to purchase this film and see all of these things unfold for yourself, unless you really enjoy being spoiled. The second act might induce mild boredom at times, but I personally enjoy how it gives the viewer time to relax between the much more frenetic first and third acts. And the third act near geniusly tops everything off and finishes the film with a bang. Okay, that's pretty much all I have to say regarding the story of The Place Beyond the Pines. Now I'll delve further into my spiel on the characters of this film. Specifically, the major characters of this work and not the minor. In the first act, we have Luke and Robin. Luke is most likely the main character, and he's played by Ryan Gosling. Luke is such an electrifying person. He's such a badass in this film for multiple factors, but he's not just here in the first act to just be handsome and intimidating, and he's not just out here to be a badass. There's motives behind this man's actions. He's trying to support his baby and reconcile with his lover, whom he had abruptly left behind a year prior. And like I said, you don't really with the Luke Glanton man. Robin is Luke's partner in crime, the one that gets Luke into the whole bank robbing antics and shenanigans in the first place. Robin is a helping man, he's a decent man, but Luke still ends up using him and biting the hand that feeds. And since Robin was fairly likable, you really feel for him. Robin also plays a minor role in the last act of the film. As for the second act, it definitely revolves around a guy named Avery, played by Bradley Cooper. For my thoughts on him, just refer back to what I said on him a couple minutes ago. But I'll also add in, Bradley Cooper did a solid job acting as this Avery. Moving along, the third act, we have 17-year-old Jason and AJ, the sons of Luke and Avery respectively. In addition to what I already said earlier, these guys are two junkies. The only reason why these lads became friends in the first place was because of drugs like weed, ecstasy, and Oxycontin, and to a lesser extent, alcohol. The differences between them is that Jason is likable and understanding, whereas AJ is the opposite and kinda just needs to screw right off. You don't really give a fat rat's backside about what happens to this dude. And that's pretty much my entire spiel on the characters. Another thing that I need to address, however, is the soundtrack, which is a very major asset to this work. The soundtrack is incredibly melancholy and chilling, encouraging deep thought and sustained tension. It's all done very ambiently, with very infrequent appearances of lyrics. My favorite track out of all of them is certainly Nina Nana Per Adultery by Ennio Morricone. I hope I didn't butcher that too much, but anyway, that song, it's pretty freaking amazing in my opinion. So all in all, did I think that The Place Beyond the Pines was a good one? I think it's an excellent one worth buying, especially since it's not on Netflix. There's a great collection of characters, an excellent story, comic relief, a sustained thrill ride, and even a great soundtrack to top it all off. But although I love this, and this is one of my favorite films, it's still well off from masterpiece territory. I give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Be well, fellow citizen, and subscribe for more.